Hello. This is another skincare thing, and I wanted to get on video this morning before so the sun is up, and usually I would have my sunscreen on by now because I've learned. But I wanted to film this and just talk about skin, talk about why I talk about skin, tell you about something that I'm gonna do in a couple weeks, not even a couple weeks now, week and a half, and just give you some things to consider. So first, I definitely want you to see me like I am 54. I am 54. I have, these are scars from getting skin cancer removed. I have 7 of them. I have a big one down my back. I want you to see the pigment just because, and in all of this, because we're all in this together. We're all in this together. So often, I look at some of my videos, I'm like, girl, you look good. And then others, I'm like, ooh, the sunscreen got quite shiny. But, it's so much an illusion. I don't do a lot in terms of illusion, but even like when I look at my videos and I see like, wow, I look very good in that video. I'm not really doing it intentionally, but I do wear makeup, and I'm sure that like in that particular time I had it worked well, whatever I did. The camera and the lighting worked. So it's so important as we work towards body peace. I'm Cami, I created Body Peace Yoga. As we work towards body peace, just such a huge part for men and women and people of all genders, is just loving our bodies as they are. And part of that is understanding that all of the images that we see are manipulated. Even in my case where I am not filtering, I don't even know how, but I'm not filtering, I'm not doing anything to like my images. You're getting raw video. I'm gonna start working with someone to help me edit, but like just edit for time and stuff. But the way it is right now, I record a video and I put it on YouTube. Anyway, even in my case, there are times where I look at a video, I'm like, wow, great. And then sometimes, and I have all the same kinds of messaging, even with all of the work that I do with my mind and love and acceptance and all that. There was this one where I shot, it was in my kitchen and the light came in a certain way. I didn't have, just sunscreen on was all I had. And it just, the way it picked up, you could just see all the photo damage. So it almost looked like I had chicken pox. And again, that's just, it's all a digital image, and it's light and shadow and all this stuff. So, and I saw that and I'm like, whoa, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and post that. We're just in it to win it, right? We're just doing this, and by win it, I mean get body peace. So that's one thing, one reason that I just want to come here and, I think you'll be able to see like there is a lot of old sun damage. Not as bad as it could have been because I stopped getting a tan on purpose when I was 22. But I didn't start wearing SPF every single day until a year ago. when they say wear your SPF every single day, they mean every day and reapply it. So I didn't start doing that until a year ago, but it has really helped. It has helped so much because my collagen, that's something that the editors will help with later on future videos. But my collagen, it just isn't getting damaged. And you know, we really can do so much to repair ourselves. Our bodies really can do a lot to regenerate as long as we don't keep the assault. So that's the role that SPF is playing in my life now. But that was 1 year ago that I started. And around that same time, I started using this thing called tretinoin, which is Retin-A. Talk to your doctor. You can use retinols, I'm using tretinoin prescription. And so that means I must use SPF. And I do all like the Kula Bar and all that, sun protective clothing stuff as well. So just started doing that a year ago. I stopped getting a tan when I was 22. So more than 30 years ago. You know, getting a tan on purpose. But I would get sun. I would, I wanted enough vitamin D. I loved how it felt. I didn't know that even though I wasn't like laying out and getting tan on purpose, I didn't know that all of that damage was adding up. And then I started making these skin cancers. I'm sure that they had started in my system. You know, I grew up in Phoenix, and we really, at least I really believed that a base tan was protective. And so every year I would make sure I had a base tan. It was a project. Never used SPF. I mean, if I would use it, it would be like a number 4 because I liked the smell. And you know, I'm a pretty pale person, but I used to be brown. And it is a beautiful look. It's beautiful. Brown mocha skin is beautiful. But I've also come to really love my shade of skin. It's another part of body peace. So I've had so many blistering burns. Anyway, don't need to focus too much on that. Suffice to say, I have a lot of sun damage that's just in here. And then I have these scars. I mean, it turns out, unless you go, so this is just from like testing. Is it skin cancer? No, it wasn't, but it left like this pockmark. It turns out unless you go to a plastic surgeon, which is, I think it's usually covered, but you just have to request it. So I have a couple of scars that are nice. You can barely see them, but unless you do that on purpose, you end up with all kinds of stuff. Like this was like an ice cream scoop because they have to take a lot of tissue out. But I haven't made new skin cancers in many years. So all of this came up early, like relatively early. I had my first one taken out when I was 34. And at that time, you know, the plastic surgeon said, you know, you're very young to be. I'm like, what? Huh? And it really did freak me out. But because my mom had died from cancer when I was little, and it was this horrible thing. And so it really scared me to have any sort of a cancer diagnosis. I've since come to understand just more about it, but I've never had melanoma. Melanoma is deadly. I've had basal and squamous. So I have been able to completely stop making new skin cancers. So I had 7 taken out over the course of a few years. I've stopped making any new ones. I also don't eat any animal protein. There's a lot of research, and I don't want to get into some old big thing. There's a lot of placebo-controlled, double-blind, like very well-designed studies showing that animal protein is carcinogenic. So you do that. You do with that what you want. But I don't consume animal protein, and I don't consume alcohol anymore. Alcohol is also carcinogenic. So I've done some things in addition to the sunscreen and some protective behaviors that may be helping me not to create any more skin cancers. I have my, my lines and my wrinkles, and my face used to be up like this more, and now it's whatever. So I have all of that happening. I drink tons of green tea, matcha, pura tea, nettle tea, ginseng, dandelion root. I eat nuts and seeds, and I oil my skin and my hair, and so I do a lot. I wear those light masks. So there's a lot that's going into like my skin healing. And this is still, there's quite a lot of photo damage there. Like some of my friends who did not grow up in Phoenix don't have this. Now, other friends who never left Phoenix, I just thought it was a normal part of being a grown adult, is that you have kind of leathery skin. I just thought that that was normal. Of course it's not. And I see the parts of my body that have not gotten a lot of sun, and that skin it's perfect. It looks, 6 years old. So, it really does add up. It really matters. So that's kind of like a quick snapshot on everything I'm doing. I've talked about some of that in prior videos. Now, what I'm doing in a week and a half is I'm making good on a very flippant, cavalier promise that I made to myself back in the day when I was laying out. So I probably would have been about, 20, and maybe even younger, maybe like 13, 14, I don't know. But I was laying out, and more information was getting to me about SPF. And I still didn't use it. And at that time, I just said to myself, when I get older, I'll just do whatever I have to do to help my skin. Okay, so decades have passed, and now I'm just realizing, like, hey, I said that to myself. And I look at my behaviors. I did whatever I needed to do back then to be dark tan. I prioritized it. I organized my days around it. I put a lot of time and effort into it. Some for vanity, a lot for habit, and a lot, I think it was helping me stay, it is the sunshine, like sunny disposition type of vitamin D. We get it from mushrooms. We make it ourselves. We do all, we don't have to be dark tan to have enough vitamin D. We get enough through our scalps, but it's another topic. But it did feel good to me. And I think if I wasn't so scared, it would still feel really good to me. I like the feeling of the sun on my skin, but I don't ever have it anymore. So I did everything I needed to do. And so now, this past year or so that I've really been learning so much, I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm doing everything I can. I do this stuff like every day. Some of it has to be every other day. I organize my life around it. I put my protective clothing on. Like, I take it very, very seriously. And I'm seeing results. I am. And in a week and a half, I'm going to spend a lot of money on my very first laser treatment. Now, a lot of people start getting these things in their 40s, and it's probably a good idea because it helps with our collagen, and it helps to get all this stuff out. And I don't know why I didn't, because I was working in tech. I had the money, but I think I knew I had to change certain behaviors first, or it was just going to be kind of pointless. I think on one level I knew that. So now I have changed the behaviors that I needed to change, and I'm ready. I'm just ready. For whatever reason, I'm ready. It is expensive. And I tell myself, yeah, it's about $15 per year for every year that I used to tan. That's not too bad. I'm not coloring my hair anymore, as you can see, and that used to cost a fair amount. Okay, so I'm saving money on that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even need to try to justify it to myself too much. Mostly I used to do what I needed to do to be tan. And I told myself that when I grew up, I would do what I needed to do to heal. If this whole SPF thing was true, it turns out, yeah, it really is. And so I'm kind of making good on something I told that girl. I'm going to be documenting what it's like. I'm going to do a vlog, day by day vlog. And yeah, so we'll see. So that's what I'm going to do in a week and a half. It is hard to justify spending the money because these days I'm spending money on getting book covers created and running ads to try to get the word out about books and workshops and get trainings, and I have all these things that I'm prioritizing financially, and the businesses are starting to slowly support themselves, but not at all quickly. So anyway, so this is money just coming out of savings, and so we'll see. I think it's a good idea, but it is something that I told myself I would do, so I'm gonna do it. I'm excited, I'm hopeful, I'm a little scared. Ultimately, I'm scared of scarring and somehow really hurting my skin, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. So there is that risk. I don't think it's going to happen. And then I'm scared of the pain. So it is going to feel like a bad sunburn that first day. And I'm getting it like, I'm getting the whole, I wish she could also do my back, but I have to sleep on my back. So I'm scared of that part. And I'm scared of, so there's going to be these things like the pigment and the damage, which that happens just with the tretinoin too. That's been very interesting. Like with the tretinoin, something will just come out and off. But this is going to be like all at once. So I'm a little scared of that. But not scared. It's more just like, what's that going to be like? I mean, I teach yoga. I am on camera. I coach people. Oh, and in the first few days, I just, I'm going to just leave my skin alone mostly. She's going to give me something, gentle things to kind of put on. But mostly, I'm not going to put makeup on at all. The first day or two, I won't put any sunscreen on, but I'm just going to also, I have like these Coolie Bar face mask things, and I'll just, keep my face covered. So it's a thing. You're invited. I'm not going to have the camera like in there. I'm not trying to promote anything or anything like that, but this is going to happen. And I'm grateful, honestly, like I'm grateful that I can sort of casually say, yes, I'm using some money out of savings to pay for this thing. I'm grateful. That's a huge privilege. Just like it was a privilege back then to spend time, decent amounts of time getting tan. So it's a privilege. I want to acknowledge that. And then I also just wanted to definitely level the playing field in terms of like what actual humans look like. You can really see it when I go like that. Yeah. And then one more thing I wanted to say about the skin and like why I talk about skin. So much happens to us through our skin. Just let that sink in. And you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I have paler skin, so I haven't experienced what some people with other shades, tones, types of skin have experienced as a result of their skin. But I have experienced plenty of really terrible things via my skin. It's such a visible, way of how our beings exist in the world. It's exposed to everything. People feel so like justified in making comments about our skin constantly. Show more skin, show less skin. I mean, skin really gets under my skin. Like there's just so much that gets expressed via our experience of our skin. And Our skin is an organ, like our liver is an organ, like our heart is an organ. Our skin is an organ. It's just on the outside. It helps with immune function. It helps with detoxifying. It protects and keeps everything in. It has all these nerves, and it helps us with our neuroception and to know, am I safe or am I in danger? It helps with temperature regulation. It helps it's an amazing organ. And so those two ideas combine to making it very worthwhile on our journey towards body peace, very worthwhile to consider our skin, love our skin, be nice to our skin. In Ayurveda, we rub oils on our skin and our hair, protect our skin, heal our own relationship with our skin. I hope that this laser does do a lot to heal my skin, and it's a little scary because it comes in the form of like damage, but it's kind of a post-traumatic growth idea and a resilience idea that do a hard thing and then that actually promotes growth and healing. So that is my strong intention, that this will actually help to heal my skin and its function. So comment, have you ever had a laser? Have you ever considered a laser? How's your relationship with your skin? Anything you want to say about your skin? And if you found value, please like and subscribe and share and get notifications and all that stuff. And I guess stay tuned. I will, like I said, I will document this experience as well as I can. And somehow I'll figure out like how to put the different vlog parts together. I don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, body peace. Woohoo!